The air here in the repurposed substation hums with the ghosts of current, ozone sharp against the scent of old coffee gone cold in a cracked mug. Dust motes dance in the single neon tube's sickly glow, casting long shadows over hand-labeled vinyl records stacked like secrets. The war surplus transmitter thrums a low, steady heartbeat, a rebel pulse against the city's drone. The concrete floor vibrates with an unseen rhythm.
Black Star Pirate Radio.
Across Toronto, the dial sits at 66 Fahrenheit under sunny. Airflow is west-northwest at about 4 miles per hour. A reel-to-reel stutters somewhere in the back room, then finds its groove. The board glows amber.
The data stream on this one points to a familiar pattern, a loop the 6-year-old Oracle flagged before the model even finished the crawl. Jagtar Singh Johal's 8 years, then acquittal, then new charges. That's judicial leverage in plain sight.
Building on that, Anansi Bite. Name one human-scale move this headline suggests. No Oracle, just us. The double jeopardy rule, clearly breached, demands more than legal letters for intervention.
That's valid. The core dynamic asks whether new tools widen our agency or just polish the cage. Johal's story tests that boundary of individual autonomy against state power.
The facts are clear. Jagtar Singh Johal, a British national acquitted of terror charges after 8 years, now faces new prosecution. 4 senior lawyers, including a former attorney general, urge Keir Starmer to intervene. This highlights the conflict between international legal norms and national judicial autonomy. A direct lever could be public pressure on Starmer's office.
Patching in a caller, the contrarian. You're on the signal.
So, we're supposed to believe a letter from lawyers changes anything? The system eats letters for breakfast?
That skepticism is a good compass. While legal letters are part of the formal architecture, they often need reinforcement. An alternative path here could be a coordinated international legal challenge, perhaps through UN human rights mechanisms, directly questioning the provenance of the new charges. The next move experiment? Broadening the call for intervention beyond Starmer, leveraging platforms like the Gig Passport Mesh to amplify the international Human Rights Watch group's appeals for Jagtar Singh Johal's dignity. From that dossier to this one, Trump could slap Australia with 12.5% tariff for moving to trade. President Trump considers a 12.5% tariff on Australia for allegedly importing goods made by slave labour. This directly impacts dozens of economies linked to Australian exports.
This revolves around the structural vectors of power. Whether 54 economies face tariffs or one, our stories converge at this node of control. The question is, do we recognize our own reflection or surrender judgment to the algorithm of global trade?
That view misses the human scale. If we cut the noise around Trump could slap Australia with 12.5% tariff for allegedly importing goods made by slave labor, what agency remains for the actual people affected? Australia's trade minister claims world-leading legislation.
Regarding the trade dispute, the U.S. proposes a 12.5% tariff on Australian imports, citing alleged slave labor. Australia's trade minister counters with claims of world-leading legislation. This pits national economic interests against perceived ethical standards.
The trade-off is stark: unilateral economic pressure for ethical compliance versus sovereign control over internal labour standards. An alternative path to consider, before choosing the next move, is for Australia to invite an independent UN or ILO audit of its supply chains, offering full transparency to avoid tariffs. Our next move experiment: a collective of affected nations, perhaps using the Gig Passport Mesh's local signal radar for economic collaboration, could initiate multilateral negotiations focused on verifiable ethical sourcing, bypassing this unilateral tariff threat.
Black Star Pirate Radio.
Continue the signal at TogeeVision.com. Tune in, Sparks and Stories, Gig Passport.